Hello everyone and welcome to the December bullet journal setup. I knew when I wanted to start Vlogmas that I wanted to start with a bullet journal setup because we just got to do a plan with me because then everything else will make sense. So in this setup, I am going with kind of like a gingerbread theme as we go. And before we get started, I did want to tell you, because I'm always super curious about how long it takes people to finish things. This entire setup took 1 hour, with 40 minutes of that being like the normal things I normally do, and then 20 minutes was more like holiday specific things that I don't typically do. So I'm using an Archer and Olive notebook here. I've been using the same one all year. There will be a bullet journal flip through coming very soon. And I originally was going to use watercolor because you actually can use watercolor, and I thought that would be easy. And then I started thinking about how long it would take to dry. And as you might be able to tell, I'm filming this in like the pitch black, so I tried my best with the shadows. But that was as good as we could get. And so I was like, I just don't want it to take any time longer than it needs to, and so I decided to just use markers. So that brown marker is a zebra mild liner, and the other ones are all going to be Tombow markers that are the dual tip brush pens. And then for all of the lettering, I'm using what do I use? The brush lettering is Tombow, a word I cannot pronounce. It's like Fudanowski, I think. And then the other ones are Pitt pens. So all of those, I got them all from Michael's. And that's what we got. So I drew a little gingerbread house on the first side or the second side, I don't know, on the right hand side. And then on the left hand side, I started doing some doodles. So I have the lyrics from We Need a Little Christmas up here because that was my absolute favorite song last year, because it just like we needed a little Christmas at the end of 2020. And so this year I definitely don't feel quite as strongly about that, but I still kind of feel it. So I went ahead and went with it. And that's what we've got over here on the left side. So this little tree doodle is like the easiest thing ever. You just like take a marker and make some lines, and then some more lines, and then some more lines until you have a tree looking thing. And then if you want to make it a little bit more realistic looking, then you can add a darker color on top, which is what I did. I also added a little bit of holly, since the lyrics say haul out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. Then on the bottom there, I wrote, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. And you might be able to tell I did use a pencil underneath this, and sometimes I completely don't go anywhere near where the pencil is. And that is on purpose, because when I have the pencil there, I can see, kind of where it's going to land. And sometimes I decide, what, I don't like that. And so I'm able to move it over, and then I can just erase it at the end. Once I had all of that, I grabbed my white Jelly Roll pen. This is just like a gel pen, and I started to add some like icing looking, like snow icing vibes to the gingerbread house. It's still, even now, I kind of feel like it's still missing something, but I just can't quite figure out what it is that I want to add to it. I did add a black outline, and that made a huge difference. So I just outlined all of the different shapes, and then that just, it helps it stand out more, makes it look more finished. I probably didn't need to outline the bow, but you know what, I did. So, it's all good. It's all good. These pages are, of course, completely unnecessary, but I love them. And what I actually do is, if I am not like currently referencing something in my bullet journal, I will leave it out on my desk with this page up so that I can like look at it all month long. And that's really fun for me. And then also it's like readily available anytime I do need to flip to something quickly. I added December over here on this side with a red Tombow Fudanowski pen, and then I got to work with erasing all of the pencil marks. And with that, we were done with page 1. On the next page, what are we doing? Calendar? I think we're doing a calendar. I guess we'll find out in a moment. Yes, I'm doing a calendar. So this calendar, I've been off and on with the calendars all year. Like, do I want a calendar? Do I not want a calendar? And I started using one in November and really liked it. So what I'm using this particular calendar for is not for events, but for specific things to do in my business. So like scheduling out this is the day I'm going to film videos, and this is the day that I'm going to write emails, and all of those things. And it's just super helpful to be able to see it all like at a glance really quickly, really easily. And then when I'm making my daily plans each day, it's really easy to be like, oh, hey, look, this is what I said I was going to do. And it just makes life really, really easy. I do my calendars in like a 7x7 dot spacing because I like them to be really big and they take up almost the entire page, as you can see. So I just did a red on the lines, and then I did a green circle that should have been bigger, but it wasn't. And then I'll go back and add the numbers with a black pen. And then just to add a little bit of doodling, I try to keep like the same theme going throughout all of the pages. And so I just added a little gingerbread man down there at the bottom in the same colors that I used on the front page, and then wrote December in the same way I did it the first time to make things all nice and matchy and super, super simple. Although there are some illustrations and there also are, those weren't words, also are some really fun things like holiday things at the end that you'll see. I did try to keep it pretty minimal this month. After that, we are moving on to my planning page. So this is like the main thing I use my bullet journal for, is monthly planning, quarterly planning, all of the planning, because your girl loves to plan. So on this page, what I'm doing is over on the left, I'm going to have my goals. And so I will write down 10 goal/projects that I am currently working on over usually like the next month-ish. And then on the right side, I will put all of the different individual tasks, and I will separate them by category. So I have one for Becca's music room, that's my TPT shop, and I have one for like my YouTube channel and all of those things, so that I can just really keep track in my brain of like what is going where, what the priority is, because I always know that the TPT shop comes before everything else, and so I can just kind of see that. You'll see that as I, actually go and fill it in. But right now what I'm doing is drawing all of the cute little things. I personally find it easiest to do the drawing first and then fill in with the writing, because I just think it's easier to like make sure everything's spaced out nicely. So I drew a gingerbread man up in the top left corner. He's pretty big. And then a gingerbread lady down in the bottom right hand corner. I think she needs some hair. Yeah, she needs some hair. I might add some hair. And then I did some just like different shapes of like typical Christmas cookie cutters that went across, and I didn't add anything super fun to them. I just did them brown and then did an outline in black, which I will do in just a moment. And that was really a fun way to make like a little border, but it wasn't super time consuming because I didn't have to add like all of the details in the world. And can I be honest, these gingerbread men were actually really easy to draw and really easy to draw quickly, which was wonderful because we were under a time crunch. You can see those little headers. So I just have main focus and then the 4 different aspects of my business that are going on. You can see me flipping through and being like, how much longer do we have? I was on quite a makeshift little table, and so it was kind of a disaster. One other thing I always put in my bullet journal is this week by week spread. And so basically what I do is I have that like calendar, and then this tells me like what I need to do over the week, which is really helpful because on the calendar, I won't put everything on there. So I'll add in usually whatever I'm doing in my morning work session, and then anything I know I need to do in the afternoon. But on this weekly, I can add in other little things that I can kind of like, sneak in on the weekends and add it to that. And so it's just very simple. It just has lines that says week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. All right, now on to some Christmassy fun. So on this page, we are making a Christmas bucket list. I wanted to make it an advent calendar, but the more I started thinking about it, the more I was like too stressed about like doing the thing that it says on the day that it says. And so I decided that it's just going to be a bucket list. So we're just going to color them in as we go. For the title, I added these little ornament things. These are super, super easy. All you do is just do like a little circle with a marker and then add in the letters over top and then just a line and then like 2 little squiggles to make the bow on the top. And so that's just a really fun way to do titles, especially around Christmas time. Down in the bottom right hand corner, I have a little like gingerbread house and gingerbread man. I didn't add a bunch of colors or decorations to this. I kept it pretty simple since there's kind of just a lot of writing on this spread. And then I'm going through and adding each of the items on the bullet journal for this one. So I picked out 25 things. That I can do in any order whenever I'd like, and then I made like a little ornament next to it, and I'm going to fill it in with color when I finish them. So items on my to-do list are decorate, bake gingerbread, take a nighttime walk through the lights, have a do nothing day, drink a peppermint hot cocoa, see the lights at the bamboo farm, which is a like local place here, watch Elf the musical because that's in town, play Christmas carols on the cello, have a Christmas music marathon, drink a peppermint mocha, do a Christmas do-it-yourself activity, make some presents, make a garland, make a gingerbread house. We're doing lots of making apparently. See the lights at Disney World, which I can already check off because we already did that. Decorate the outside of the house, make Christmas cards, do more baking, decorate my office, wrap presents, have a cozy reading session, film a house tour, have a fire, read a Christmas story, and have a Christmas party. These were surprisingly difficult to come up with, I'm not gonna lie, because when I looked up Christmas bucket lists, all the things on there were things like go sledding and build a snowman, and I was like, I live in Georgia, I can't do any of those things. So this is what I've got. I know some of them are very specific to me, obviously, because you're probably not filming a house tour, but you know what, it's okay, because my bullet journal is for me. I also added a small movie list. This is not all the movies that I would like to watch, so couple of them: The Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3, Miracle on 34th Street, The Nutcracker, Klaus, Home Alone 1 and 2, The Holiday, Princess Switch, Elf, Prep and Landing, and there are many, many others that I would like to watch as well, but I thought this was a good start. It seemed nice and doable and nice and attainable because it's not super duper long. So for that page, as I do each of the items, I'm just going to color in the little ornament next to it. And the ornaments are super simple. They're just little circles and then like basically a square on the top. On the next page, I did a gift tracker. So I did the title the same way. It just says gifts. And then I have a bunch of boxes that look like little presents. I just outlined them in different colors, and so each is for a different person we are needing to do a gift for. I did add in their names as well, and then my vision is to color them in once I have them, so I can write what I'm gonna do for them, and then once it's done and wrapped and everything, I can color in the box, and so that'll tell me when I am finished. So that'll be very helpful. Next to it, I drew a little tree with that same little just like squiggly lines. I didn't love the tree, but you know what, it's fine. I thought I would add some different color greens to kind of help make it a little bit prettier, but I just still didn't love it. You know what, it's fine. It's fine. On the other side, I did a present tracker for my husband. Since he is my husband, he is the one I buy the bulk of the gifts for. So I have more than one thing that I will get him because he's my husband. And so I made this little like column table sort of thing. So the first one says idea, so I can write what I'm going to get him. And then it says purchased, received, and wrapped, so I can keep track of what's going on. Now, ironically, I actually did like all of his shopping online on Black Friday, so I ended up not really needing this because I had already like finished it, but I didn't feel like drawing anything else on here, and so I thought it would just be the easiest thing. So maybe I can still use it to keep track of like when I get them and wrap them, because I did order them all online. We shall see. All right, friends, for the last spread here, we are doing a reflections page. And so I have been doing these most months, not every month, but I do like just taking some time to reflect. And I have the same little theme going on. So I have a little gingerbread house, and then I added a couple of trees next to the little gingerbread house, which I thought were cute. And then I just used a red Tombow dual tip brush pen to make little boxes. So on the left side, I have 3 boxes. The first one's going to say about December. The second one says what went well. And the third one says in January. So very open-ended, but that's kind of how I like it. And then on the right side, I have 4 boxes, and they say keep, change, start, and stop. And I love those little prompts to just help me figure out like what habits are helpful for me and what habits are not so helpful. All right, friends, that is everything. So here is your last little flip through. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. There will be a full 2021 bullet journal flip through coming at you very, very soon. So make sure you keep your eye out for that. Hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell for notifications, because we are entering Vlogmas and there's going to be all sorts of Christmassy holiday fun. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.